Good morning, it's Thursday the 5th of September, and you're listening to the Business Insights podcast from Business News Wales. The Swansea Bay City Deal is looking for a new programme director. Who is the ideal candidate, and what expectations are in place? Is it too late for regional partners to submit new projects for the City Deal, or is the window very much open? What's the latest regarding the Swansea Bay Tidal Lagoon project? What could go wrong this time round? And what's the chance of a positive announcement in the autumn? To discuss this and more, I'm joined today by Rob Stewart. Rob is the chairman of the Swansea Bay City Deal Joint Committee. Hello, Rob.
Afternoon, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, Rob. So tell us about the new programme director role. What's it all about and what specifically are you looking for?
So following a review of the city region, we identified the need for a full-time programme director or managing director to oversee the programme office that will help deliver those 11 economy-changing projects that we have within our £1.3 billion city deal. So it's about a full-time professional to help us to scope the skills that are required for that office, but oversee the delivery with the development partners for each of those 11 projects. So it's a pivotal role. It will report directly to me as chair of the joint committee, and it will ensure that we have a strong grip on the delivery of the projects as they come to fruition.
In terms of the individual, are you looking for someone local, somebody Welsh, somebody outside of Wales? Is there...
To be honest with you, we're looking for the best person for the job. The person does need to be of a calibre and have the experience and skill set to be able to manage a huge, significant £1.3 billion programme of projects. And that means that we are paying a reasonably healthy salary to ensure that we get somebody with that right skill set. I'm less concerned whether they're local or whether they're Welsh. I am more concerned that we get the right person for the job.
If you had to define some sort of KPIs and say that person started today and in 12 months' time they were very successful because they achieved X, what would X be?
So X would be that, one, they get the regional office fully up and running so that we have all of the skills recruited into that office to help deliver the projects. Two, they get some further projects through the governance process and signed off by government so we can start to access further pots of cash. And three, that they're successfully making sure that the projects that are underway already are being delivered.
It's obviously a massive role, lots of challenges. What advice would you give to that person on day one?
Make sure that you fully understand what we're trying to achieve in the city region, understand the ambition that we all have here in the Swansea Bay City region, and make sure that you come with the drive and the enthusiasm to help us deliver it.
And I'm guessing working with all the partners. Obviously, there's been all sorts of things reported about relationships and breakdowns and successes and so on. But I'm guessing that person will be, I suppose, a good manager of individuals. Would that be the right thing to say?
Well, I think they're going to have good engagement skills because it's not just about working, as you've pointed out, with the 4 local authorities and the officers in those. It's about working with the private sector. It's about working with our public sector partners like health boards and universities. So they're going to need to have that really important skill set of managing both public and private individuals and acknowledging the different roles that each of those partners will bring to the delivery of the projects.
And how is the deal progressing overall? Give us an overall summary of where the deal is at right now.
So as people will be aware, we went through a review period just before Christmas last year. We came out of that and had a number of recommendations. I'm pleased to say that we've embedded those recommendations now into our new governance structure. We are out for advert, as we've just been talking about, for the new managing director to head up the new independent regional office. We've successfully got 2 of the 11 projects approved by the 2 governments. So that's the Swansea Digital Waterfront, which will deliver the new digital arena and new complex within Swansea, as well as the Box Village down in our SA1 region of Swansea Bay, and the Eregin project in Carmarthenshire. So both of those projects are already approved. We're expecting the formal terms and conditions that accompany the release of the money in the next week or so. But our partners across the region, Pembrokeshire, are very close to submitting the final business case for approval on Pembrokeshire Dock Marine. We have Neath Talbot bringing forward a revised set of projects there to support the steel industry and also to drive regeneration in and around the Neath and Talbot area. And of course, Carmarthenshire is working on a revised project for the Delta Lakes Wellbeing area of Carmarthenshire. So a number of projects in the pipeline. And on top of that, we've also got the cross-cutting 5G digital project, which project lead Mike Galvin will be bringing back to the Joint Committee very shortly. So there's a second tranche of projects already heading into the approvals process, and we hope to be able to draw down the money for those and get them signed off this side of Christmas if possible.
I was going to say, in terms of new projects, if I'm, one of the partners and, we've got some ideas in the background, is it too late now to submit new projects, or is that still open for?
No, absolutely. And that's one of the things that the program director or managing director will need to bring is that horizon scanning, that working together with the Economic Strategy Board, looking at opportunities to maximise and add to the deal. But I've been very clear as well, 11 projects were never going to be the end of the City Deal scope. We are looking at potentially a large transport project. We're working with Transport for Wales today on a South West Wales metro. And again, we hope to be able to report back where we are on that very shortly, but it would be great to roll that one in with some additional funding for it to become Project 12, and that will be a major cross-cutting transport project for the region. And then on top of that, of course, we're still talking to Welsh Government about the potential for backing a tidal project, the Tidal Lagoon second project in Swansea, or the revised project there, and we're having very positive discussions with Welsh Government about that, and we expect to be able to make some announcement in the autumn. So there are opportunities for further game-changing, economy-changing projects being added to the deal, or being aligned to the deal, or being run within the region as part of our ambitions to change the economy of the region.
Fast forward 10 years, you've got that magic wand. How would you like to see the regional economy looking, I suppose, in 10 years' time?
In 10 years' time, I want to see us deliver all of the 11 projects in their entirety, plus more. So I would like to see work underway to have started, if not the first, but the second phase of that metro project we've just been talking about. I want to ensure that we have delivered the Swansea projects in terms of the digital waterfront, and made a massive difference to the economy of Swansea City itself. I would like to see all of the projects delivered and making that economic difference to the communities across our partner councils in Carmarthenshire, Pembrokeshire and Neath Talbot. And I want us to have done what we set out to do at the start of the deal, which is modernise our economy, diversify it, create over 10,000 jobs, and close the productivity gap between us and the rest of Wales and the rest of the UK. And that productivity gap currently, if you're going to measure it in pounds, would be about £5 billion. And the deal will give us close to 4 billion of that if we get it right.
What industries, Rob, do you think are going to start moving forward quicker than others?
Well, clearly, as with the aim of becoming a fifth generation communications testbed, obviously digital technologies, digital innovation, the new technologies that will hang off that development in telecommunications is one area. Obviously, the advancement of life sciences is crucial. Green economy projects, including green energy projects, will be part of what we're doing, as well as delivering the next generation of housing for the region, including houses that will either cut your energy bills to less than £100 a year or eliminate them entirely. And those are just some of the outcomes that we would expect to see as part of the delivery of the deal.
Sustainability and renewable energy markets, they seem to be massive opportunities for South Wales. Can you foresee South Wales, Pembrokeshire becoming potentially the green capital of Europe?
It's absolutely possible. Wales has declared climate emergency. Swansea Council has done the same, and I know other councils will be doing so shortly. We have some fantastic natural resources in this area, including the potential for delivering the world's first tidal lagoon, as well as delivering the world's largest testbed for wave technology development in our region. We also have the benefit of fantastic headland that can develop wind technologies. Wales, especially this region of Wales, can become entirely energy self-sufficient on green energy. We can turn our public sector estate entirely carbon neutral in a relatively short period of time, and that is one of the consequences of the work that we are doing. But we're doing it in line with the Welsh Government and the Welsh Government's aims to decarbonise the economy. So it's absolutely something that we believe we can exploit and become a sector leader in.
You mentioned the Tidal Lagoon project earlier in the conversation, and that, hoping to push that forward. What could potentially go wrong this time? I suppose a lot of lessons have been learnt from the last time round.
Yeah, so on that, I mean, look, the previous proposal was entirely a private sector proposal that was drawn together and driven, and it nearly got over the line. What we have done, because I've been heading up a task force for the last 7 or 8 months, looking at how we fix some of the issues that dogged the previous proposal. So fixing the business model, ensuring that the revenues out of that lagoon are sufficient to pay back the investment, making sure it's an investable proposition, making sure that the energy that comes out of that lagoon is used and delivers the revenues that people would expect. So we have done that work. We have reported back to Welsh Government. They are now looking at what the next steps should be. And as I said, we're confident of a positive announcement on this in the autumn, but I can't say more than that at this point. But certainly what we've done is make sure that we've demonstrated that there are multinationals out there with the capability and the interest and the ambition to deliver the project, and that we've worked on the numbers to make sure it's an investable, deliverable proposition. And it entirely fits with Wales's ambitions to decarbonise the economy and to set up Welsh energy using our natural resources around the coastline of Wales.
Final question, Rob. In terms of the Welsh economy as a whole, lots of positive indicators at the moment. Obviously, uncertainty with Europe, and we won't go into that as a topic today. But what's your thoughts on the outlook of the Welsh economy over the next 2-3 years?
Look, if we didn't have Brexit and the uncertainty of Brexit, it's not about whether you chose to vote Remain or leave. It's about the fact that we've been in turmoil for the last 3 years as a country, and it has created a huge amount of uncertainty. Despite that, we are, as you say, still doing very well. What we need now is certainty, and I think if we get certainty and we get the ability to trade on sensible terms with not just Europe but the rest of the world, assuming that some sort of exit does happen, then of course I think we can do even better. And I think, I've been clear for some time. My view is that I would prefer us to stay in the European Union. I think the deal we've got is the best deal, but I'm also a Democrat, and if people want to leave, then we have to try and get the best deal we possibly can to protect businesses, to protect jobs, and to make sure the economy has the best chance to grow. And I remain confident in all of this. I remain confident, and I remain ambitious for our region. I think there is so much we can achieve, but I do think it's incumbent upon the government in London now to resolve the Brexit issue as quickly as possible.
Rob Stewart, Chairman of the Swansea Bay City Deal's Joint Committee. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much.